Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the Walt Disney Company has been, well, let's say, reactive to anybody out there on social media, anybody out there in the screaming mob that goes against a lot of these companies, that tries to push back against anything that they deem offensive, generally on the basis for another group of people out there or something that a lot of people out there would not even think about twice. They decide to rile up there and go, well, this is offensive, you need to change it, yada, yada, yada. And Disney is generally one of those ones that completely and totally instantaneously reacts to this. We saw this with the Peter Dinklage thing going on with all of the dwarf stuff and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of situation, the live action remake that they've been working on for quite a while now. And it's why they were like, oh no, well, we're not going to have dwarves in it. It's going to be magical creatures. And like literally this is something that nobody but other than Peter Dinklage was complaining about. And it's one of those things, we've seen this happen with the Walt Disney Company, and honestly a lot of Hollywood. This has kind of been a trend that's been going around for a while. Well, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is now the Walt Disney Company is going even one step further. They've been out there purging things from their own company out there, pushing back against a lot of this kind of stuff and going through, and instead of just reacting to, which you can kind of understand where our company goes, is like, well, our audience is telling us this, the customers are telling this, we should react, we should change things, yada, yada, yada. You can kind of understand that. But with the company going through and systematically purging things that literally no one is thinking about, nobody's complaining about, and completely rewriting and changing their own history on the simple basis of the fact that they believe at some point in time out there someone might get offended by it, or because somebody inside of the cult has passed down this new edict that says this is the list of things that are offensive, please purge it from your entire company. Which, if that cannot show you a sign that the Walt Disney Company is completely and totally succumbed to the spirit of the age and taken over by all of the nonsense, well, ladies and gentlemen, here is our latest evidence of that. Because Disney cancels quote unquote offensive Country Bear character after 50 years, boys and girls. And yes, after 50 years of no complaints, no major outrage, no mass campaign on social media asking for this character to be purged out of the history of the Walt Disney Company and completely and totally erased from any kind of existence whatsoever. No, there is zero evidence of that in any way, shape, or form. But that's not what matters, because there are activists inside of the Walt Disney Company that are going out of their way to intentionally look for anything to be offended by or might potentially offend someone and completely and totally remove it and purge it from their history books. And that's exactly what we've got right here, boys and girls. So we're going to check out that article from That Park Place, getting all of the juicy details of who this character is, why they are deeming him offensive, and how insane this idiocracy has really truly become and completely and totally taken over the Walt Disney Company. So before we do that, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe and or follow if you have not already, because we just crossed 800 on Rumble and YouTube as well. We're marching our way towards 900, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, let us know in the comment section down below, can you believe how insane the Walt Disney Company is, or are you somebody out there who actually would have taken offense to our dear sweet bear out here and his name simply because of the fact that, well, you're insane as well? Let us know in the comment section down below, because we like our insane to be shown off and displayed around here. When the Country Bear Musical Jamboree reopened at Walt Disney World's Magical Kingdom to guests on July 17th, many flocked to Grizzly Hall expecting to see some of their favorite characters like Big Al, Henry Tyler, and Trixie St. Clair. The gang's still all here, with one notable exception. Oh, color us shocked there, boys and girls. Nobody was told, nobody was aware. It's just wham, bam. Oh, you think you're getting everybody you've always known and loved before with just some updates, some fresh paint, and some wonderful new voices? Oh, no, 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 no. We can't have that. And of course, they always do this stuff hoping no one notices, but hey, that's okay, because we're here to document the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Disney. Make Shape of Grandma get great again and call them out on their nonsense. Nothing get past the internet these days, boys and girls. Liver Lips McGrowl. Now, boys and girls, before we get into the explanation of this, is there anyone out there who is offended by the name Liver Lips McGrowl? Well, apparently, according to the Walt Disney Company, you should be. Liver Lips McGrowl, one of the original Country Bear characters dating back to the opening day of the Magic Kingdom, received something of a makeover, sporting a new blonde wig and a brand new name. Now, I initially thought they had gender swapped him with the brand new blonde wig, but no. It's almost worse than that. The classic park-specific character is now called Romeo McGrowl. Yes, rest in peace, Livers McGrowl, because now you've been replaced by Romeo McGrowl. Now, notice the lips haven't changed, right? The lips haven't changed. They didn't want to go into that much detail. They didn't want to put that much work into it. But no, they changed his clothes and gave him a wig. A wig. So the name change for McGrowl seems to stem from Disney's ongoing commitment towards political correctness. Apparently, the name Liver Lips is considered offensive to those with alcohol dependency. And I appreciate John Trent, who wrote this article's very kind words to a bunch of alcoholics and drunks. A bunch of alcoholics and drunks. Okay? As a guy who was a functioning alcoholic for quite a long time, I am not offended by the name Liver Lips. I wasn't even aware I should be offended by the name Liver Lips. But if you're an alcoholic or a drunk who is doing nothing about it and is offended by the name Liver Lips, Bubba, you have a whole lot more issues to worry about than a musical dancing bear inside of Walt Disney World. I'm just putting that out there. Might be projecting a little bit. Might want to take a little time to check internally on the real issues at hand here, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, Liver Lips, Liver Lips, Liver Lips, Liver Lips. I hope you're offended. I hope you're offended, Liver Lips. Apparently, the name Liver Lips is considered offensive to those with alcohol dependency. According to Inside the Magic, yes, quality pixie dusters 100% down for the spirit of the age and will gladly push Disney's agenda all day long to guarantee their access. According to Inside the Magic, the term Liver Lips is considered derogatory and offensive, and it is associated with excessive alcohol consumption and the resulting liver damage. Well, here's a thought. Like, don't consume so much alcohol that it damages your liver. That's like saying people who have type 2 diabetes who have it solely because of the fact that they are obese and have ate way too much junk food their entire lives, of getting offended by the fact that they got called out by a particular name, Fatty McFattersons. That, hey, guess what? You ate too much Fatty McFattersons, and that's why you have type 2 diabetes. That's literally the same thing. This is a preventable situation. You did this to yourself. I'm sorry. I'm okay offending people like this. I'm okay making shame great again for people like this who their own decisions have caused their own physical health issues. I'm not going to dance around my tiptoes, dance around the tulips on my tiptoes, trying to avoid offending people who should feel shame for what they have done to themselves. Make shame great again. The phrase is deemed to be insensitive and outdated, prompting Disney's decision to modify the character. Oh, yes, because all of those people back in the day, they were so crazy, they so ridiculous, they were so insane, they were so stupid that we have to rewrite the history and change things to make it better. Because we know best. We're smarter than you. We're smarter than them. We will be like God. And we will change it all. Because that's what they do. It's the oldest story in the book. They think they're better than everyone else. And they will educate you. They will teach you a better way going forward. Because they're your betters, boys and girls. So listen up and take your indoctrination, serf. Otherwise, who knows what will happen, comrade? I'm sure we don't have a nice resort anywhere scheduled for you. I'm sure we don't have a wall that will put you up against at any point, comrade. I'm sure it'll never come to that. No. That's craziness. That's crazy talking. Crazy. There's never been any kind of public outcry against Liver Lips McGrowl in the 50-plus years that the characters existed within the Magic Kingdom. There seems to be another instance of Disney taking matters into their own hands to scrub the park's elements that it finds outdated or problematic. We've seen a number of these changes in recent years to classic attractions that were meant to bring these experiences more in line with the modern thinking. Obviously, we've talked about Splash Mountain. We've covered that rather extensively and all that kind of stuff. And if you didn't know, Disney has an entire division of the company called Stories Matter, which is dedicated to altering older content and ensuring that the current content meets some kind of social morality level determined by the company. Yes, Boys and girls, that's exactly what this is. They want to erase any kind of history they might deem problematic to their modern sensibilities. And where do these modern sensibilities come from? The old cult. The old cult that we've always seen before. It's them, their narcissism, their egotism. It's their own sense of pride that they are smarter than you, that they're better than you. That even though no one complained about Liver Lips McGee. Nobody complained about the animatronic bear inside of the Disney kingdom. But it didn't matter. They know what you should be offended by, boys and girls. They know what you should feel your precious sensibilities damaged by. But at the end of the day, that's because they're better than you. That's because they know better than you. They think you're better than you. They think they can be like the Most High. But this is why they fail. This is why they've always failed. The new religion that tries to replace the old religion, the old morality, the morality that has always worked the test of time, is no different than the old religions that tried to change it before. Some things never change, boys and girls. History doesn't just repeat itself, it also rhymes. They literally slap the new paint of coat on the same kind of insanity that we've dealt with a million times before as a culture. The real key here is recognizing, understanding it, calling out, and not letting any of it pass by. And that's exactly what we've done here today. Is the country bear, the jamboree, something that I'm all particularly concerned with or something that I have a particular emotional attachment to? No. But at the end of the day, it's not our job as watchers on the wall to decide what does get called out and what doesn't. At the end of the day, it's to document the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Disney and all the kind of erasure of history and the nonsense that they continue to try to push, and more examples of their agenda. Because you know what? There is somebody out there who absolutely loves these bears and cares about them, and they deserve to be acknowledged. If they're upset by this change, if maybe it was one of Lips McGee was one of their favorite characters that always made them laugh and giggle from being a kid all the way up to being an adult every time they went to the Magic Kingdom, then by God, that's what we're here for. Because everyone, every Disney fan, every Disney paying customer deserves to be respected and deserves to not be insulted by these ridiculous and unnecessary changes that the Walt Disney Company continues to do time and time again. I can understand a company reacting to the tides changing out there in the public opinion and doing something to change that because of outcry. But that's not what the Walt Disney Company is doing. The Walt Disney Company is doing this for the sake of doing it because they believe they know better than everyone else out there and they are the Most High and that they will teach you what you should be offended by. Well, guess what? Just like we've seen at the box office, just like we've seen with their television ratings, the Main Street of America, the average person, the average consumer, the average customer, the average fan out there rejects this nonsense and will continue to reject it. This is why Disney fails. So we're going to continue documenting the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Disney. Because guess what, Disney? You did it to yourself, and it's exactly what you deserve.